There's no doubt about it, spring is the easiest time to make a great wild salad. But spring is changing fast into summer here at Haphazard Homestead. So I thought I'd take a walk around the yard and see what I can find for a wild salad here at the end of May. Stick around to the end of this video and you'll get some tips for how to make a great wild salad no matter what mix of plants you've got in your area. And I'll be whipping up an easy wild salad dressing too, based on a request from A. Monica D. Hey, welcome to Haphazard Homestead. I'm Holly Chris, so let's head out into the yard and see what I found. It looks like it's been cut off, so it's sprouted out in a lot of places. It's got good flavor. Sowthistle is a great green. I'm taking all of that. That's a common Sowthistle. That's a great, great salad green. You can see the new growth of the grand fir. What I'm going to do is take the parts of the grand fir that are going to self-prune. This is the part that's not going to keep growing anyway. That is all going to be self-pruned in here. It tastes so good. It has such a nice citrus flavor. This is in the tall grass, so it's really nice and tender. Some spearmint, which is great for a salad. That's good, that's spearmint. Smells good. You see any aphids on there? I do see some aphids, so I don't want that one. I'm going to come in here and take parts that don't have aphids. So I'm just going to take the leaves and some of these other buds that don't have aphids. There's a wild garlic, and it's already starting to dry down, but it's put out a scape just like any other garlic. So I'm going to take the scape and use it just like I would any garlic scape. It's a wild garlic scape. There's a wild garlic that looks like it got cut off. There it is. I think I'll use it for a green garlic. It's got a nice big bulb on it. I'm going to get this chickweed down in here. It's nearing the end of its life. It's still flowering. See right there, it's still got some flowers on it. Some of it's already set seed, but I'm going to get some of this. It's kind of hard to find it in here in good shape. You have to go down deep for the stuff that's in good shape there. It's been exposed to a lot of sun and drying in here. So that's in better shape. The stuff that's down in the grass. This is on the black locust tree. These are just in perfect shape. Look at that, they're falling right in the basket. Oh, there they go. See that meadow? That's the sheep sorrel down in there. Gotta go down in, gotta go down in, gotta go down in. Can you see him down in there? That's what we're after, is this part right here. Right there. Down here, these leaves are still tender and they're nice and sour. There's not going to be a lot because they put all their energy up into the stalk and not the leaves, so there aren't near as many leaves in here right now. This Colorado blue spruce has some new growth. I'm going to take these youngest of these for the salad. They're going to have the best flavor. Oh yeah, look at these way up here. Those are perfect. See how that goes? That one is big, but that's in good shape right there. And I'm going to get that one. And that one. These are the leaves of our native trailing blackberry. The one blackberry that's native to the Northwest. It's got a little bit of prickles on it here, but it's still pretty soft. The leaves is what I'm going to be after, but I'm going to just take this whole little set of shoots here, come in and get one of those. All right, I'm going to get one of these. All right. This is the Nipplewort. It's still in good shape because it's been in the deep shade. It's just fine for a salad. It's an invasive, so don't worry about getting too much. This is the goosegrass cleavers. Now this whole plant isn't going to be any good, right? I can pull up this whole plant. This is not going to be any good. That's just too hard already. But what's good now still are these tips. They haven't started flowering yet, so they still taste fine and are still tender enough. But in the past, I've harvested the whole plant, but now you can't. It's too late for that. Now we're just going to get the most tender parts that have been in the shade. I can't harvest these that have been in the sun. They're going to be too tough to be enjoyable. So that's what I'll be getting, is just the tips on this. So this is the Oregon grape. It's our native Mahonia. You can see that these leaves are old. They're tough. They're not for eating. But look at that one here. This leaf, this new leaf, has a nice tart lemony flavor. That is absolutely incredibly good. I'm just taking it right where it snaps off. I'll take one more. Right there. Oregon grape. That's incredibly good. These needles have been out for a while, but what it's got now is new growth. This is next year's branch. This is the larch. That has a nice lemon resin flavor that's lighter than the Mahonia or the blue spruce. This is all stuff in the shade that is just going to self-prune by the end of the year anyway. It's not really hurting anything because this part of the tree is all going to be self-pruning anyway. That's just part of what these trees do. Several dandelions in the shade. It has not flowered yet, and so its flavor is pretty much still good. I'm going to pick all that. Those are all still nice and tender leaves. Now look at this one here. It's flowered. It is definitely more bitter. Those smallest leaves are even bitter. So instead, I'm just going to take the flowers. Right? These flowers are just opening up. I'm going to take these flowers with me. So here's a hawthorn tree, and you can see that some of this is older growth. It's tougher. That's not what I'm after. I'm after the newest tender growth. This is so much more tender out here on the tips. This time of year, this is what I'm after here. Just all that new growth on the tips. That's a little old there. Oh, here's some good new stuff right down in here. So you have to look. That's nice and tender new growth there. So that's what I do, is go through and look and find the best stuff. I'll get more of this later too. So here's a hedge mustard. I have a video about hedge mustard. I'm just going to take the tops. They haven't started flowering yet, but they are going to be on the hot side. Here's a taller one right up in here. I'm just going to take their flower buds. It hasn't started flowering yet because they've been in the shade. It's going to be plenty because they're a little on the hot side. I'm going to get this dock, a young one here that's still tender, good for a salad. These, like this green one, would be good for cooking. I could cut this all back and get new growth, but that's the only leaf I'm taking, is that. So this is the English daisies, and it's easy enough to pick the flowers, but I'm also going to get some of the leaves. The leaves are down in here, and I want to make sure I don't get any bindweed or anything, but you can see that their leaves are down here. It takes some picking, but their leaves don't get much bigger than this. You got to pick clean. It's easier when you find a big stand all by itself and not out in the grass. Does this look like a dandelion? Maybe it looks sort of like a dandelion, but this is Crepis setosa, a Bristly Hawksbeard. It's like lettuce. It's so mild. It starts to get bitter when it's in the sun, just like anything else, but this one's in the shade. There's more that are younger that will be even more mild than these. It may look like a dandelion, but it's not. It's the Crepis setosa when it's younger. This is just, it's just like lettuce. It's so good. It's really good stuff. This is an area that got mowed. It's been mowed several times, but there's lemon balm down in there. You can see there's other plants too, so you have to pick clean. Don't just go down there and pick anything. Then come over here. It's all tender because it's in the shade most of the time. Lemon balm is good. So there's some lemon balm. So there's some white clover in here. It's just now starting to bloom. You see all that? These buds that are just starting. So here's an American elm, the big leaf. This one is still tender. Look at that. That's still tender. These are super tender here. And they have such a mild flavor. American elm leaves are incredibly good. And they haven't hardened up yet. But for salads, oh no, it's just this at the tip that is really good for the salad yet. And you can see that there's plenty of leaves. The seeds are too mature. We've got a bunch of elm leaves. You actually see some old bittercress still in May here in the shade. It's gone to seed, but these lower leaves are still all right. And even more so, take a look at these down in here, these tiniest ones that are flowering. Just the whole plant can come out. They've got a little mustard bite to them. They're not the prime ones, but they're okay. So let's say what we've got here. We've got the English daisies right here and here, the Bellis perennis, the English daisies. we have the native blackberry. I am not going to use the whole stalk. I'm only going to use the leaves. It was just easier to cut because the rest of it's pretty astringent. It's not new enough. They're tender and I could cook them, but for a salad I'm just going to use the leaves. And then I've got some of the hedge mustard here, the flower buds of the hedge mustard. I've got a bunch of spearmint. I don't know if I'm going to use all this spearmint. And then down here I've got just a little bit of that bittercress, man. That was on the very last bit of that. I could have taken more, but I didn't. I've got the tamarack needles, the new growth. That's at the very end of what it's good for. Here's the sheep sorrel. You can see the little arrows on the base of the leaf that are so characteristic of that. We've got the Colorado blue spruce, new growth. That'll be nice. It's nice and tender. No sharp edges on that yet. What do I have? One garlic scape from a wild garlic. And this is the wild garlic, so what I'll do here is I'm gonna slice this up. I don't expect the stalk to be good. I will be able to use that. Do you see how that goes? That's a new little corm there that was forming. This is the heart of the garlic. I'll get rid of this. Right, what do I have here? One long dock leaf. It was the last of the young ones that I could find. They're all kind of going to seed now, so they've got their flower stalks up. I've got a lot of black locust flowers, and so for a salad I don't want to eat that central stem, so I just take it right out. And I don't think you can have too many of these. These are so good. They have nectar right in the heart of them. I just go like that. That's easy enough. They smell so, oh, they smell so good. I've got the grand fir. The grand fir is such a nice, pleasant citrus. It's good all year. It is so good. Even the older needles are really good. I've got a bunch of hawthorn leaves. I went for the newer growth, not on leaves that had been on there for a while, but the ones that were the new growth on the tips. What do I have? A lot of elm leaves. Elm is in my top 5 of my favorite tree leaves to eat. American elm especially, because the leaves are so big. They stay tender and really good for so long. A nice mild flavor. What else do I have? Oh, the common Sowthistle. It's looking a little wilted, but it'll be alright. That was from one plant. You can see the flower stalk coming up right in there. I might pull that out. That's not bitter. That's alright. I've got the white clover flowers here. I've got some dandelion flowers here. I've got just a little bit of the wild field mustard. It's kind of crazy because I harvest a lot of wild field mustard, and today that's all that I got that wasn't infested with aphids. So even weeds are disturbed by insects sometimes. Here's the chickweed. Now if you've seen my other videos from salads earlier in the year, this is pretty puny looking chickweed. It'll be alright chopped up, but this is not the base of a salad this time of year. Its taste just is not the same. It's still a nice and mild green, but it is more grassy flavored. This is the lemon balm. It's a nice addition, and it's definitely a weed here in the Northwest. It just grows all over the place. This is the tips of the cleavers or goosegrass or bedstraw, the stick tights. You can see it's all sticking together. If you've seen my videos in the past for early spring salads, I use a lot of this. It's really good, but this time of year it's just those tips that are going to be worthwhile, and just the tips from the shade. I've got some Nipplewort up here in the corner. These Nipplewort leaves are nice and thin. It's a nice mild green if it has been in the shade. It's still in good shape if it's been in the shade. If it's been in the sun, it's too bitter for a salad really. I like it now as kind of a balance for some of these other flavors. The other great green in this salad is the Crepis setosa, the Bristly Hawksbeard. This is really something. This is an older leaf, so you can see how it has the pattern of the leaves here. Can you see the difference? They may look a lot alike, but can you see the difference? That's the dandelion. This one is the Crepis setosa. It almost looks like crepe paper right in there. See that? Crepis setosa is so mild, so good. The dandelions again are going to be the base for the salad too. The ribs will be the more bitter part, so I'm just taking those right out. And this is the Mahonia, the Oregon grape. It's that new vegetation. Look how tender that is. Look how Look how soft and tender. This is really incredible. It doesn't last for long like this, but it's really great. It's just so tender. Look how tender that is. That's going to be perfect in this salad. That has a nice lemon tang to it. So you can see that I've got a pretty good amount of greens here. It's important to keep it organized. I want to make sure that I don't have anything in here that I don't want. Just going to put it all in here. I'll leave the dandelion flowers out. I'll leave some of the clover out. The Mahonia, I probably ought to just strip the leaves off of the center stem. Flowers here to put on the top. Keep all those separate because they're so pretty. Let's get the stem of the spearmint out of there. I'm just going to cut all this. Cut it up in little pieces. This is the part that makes a salad good, is that all the flavors mix and the textures mix. It smells so incredibly good. I can smell the green fir, I can smell the spearmint, I can smell a lemon balm. We want to get it all chopped up really nice and fine. That's what makes such a difference in a wild salad. Oh, it smells incredible. Alright, I'm going to put that in a bowl. I'm going to make a wild salad dressing. A. Monica D. asked, "What salad dressing do you make for these salads, please? I doubt any commercially made dressing would taste good with all these new flavors." A. Monica D. is right about that. For this garlic, I am just going to cut up. Just use it as a green garlic. I'll put that in the dressing. Some red bud vinegar that I made. I'll put a video up about it. I'm going to put in some oil and some red bud vinegar. Whoa, that's a little much. Put a little salt and pepper in there. I am going to put in some homemade raisins from here on the homestead. Put those right in there for a bit to soak. And I'll let that sit for a little bit. Coconut veggie cheese, I'm just going to chop up in little pieces. There we go. How about that? There's my salad. 25 different plants. I'll be back and let you know how it was. I licked that bowl because it was really good. I have paid close to $30 for a salad at hotels and other places when I'm traveling for work. This beats any salad that I have ever bought, ever. This was an incredibly good salad. That was so delicious. I really hope that you are able to find some of these wild plants and enjoy them as much as I do. They are real food for regular people. Thanks for watching. Bye.